on this edition for Sunday, September 13th. Wildfires continue to devastate parts of California and the Pacific Northwest.
The test that we're going to see over the next couple of months, I think, is whether or not Trump can get his base passionate enough so that they turn out in unexpected numbers the way they did 4 years ago.
Jeff Greenfield with the latest in politics.
Should I taste it? Yeah, you can taste it.
And upcycling, turning food scraps into nutritious snacks. Next on PBS NewsHour Weekend.
PBS NewsHour Weekend is made possible by Sue and Edgar Wackenheim III, the Anderson Family Fund, Bernard and Denise Schwartz, the Cheryl and Philip Milstein family, Barbara Hope Zuckerberg, the Leonard and Norma Clorfine Foundation, Charles Rosenblum. We try to live in the moment, to not miss what's right in front of us. At Mutual of America, we believe taking care of tomorrow can help you make the most of today. Mutual of America Financial Group, retirement services and investments.
For 25 years, Consumer Cellular has been offering no-contract wireless plans designed to help people do more of what they like. Our U.S.-based customer service team can help find a plan that fits you. To learn more, visit consumercellular.tv.
Additional support has been provided by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, a private corporation funded by the American people, and by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. The campaigns for president are closing in on the November 3rd election. And for the next 8 weekends, we are going to track the issues in our roads to election. First stop is in the battleground state of Pennsylvania this weekend, where we are reporting in person. We'll also be visiting states virtually, talking with reporters and voters. We'll have more from Pennsylvania after today. People have now died in the massive wildfires burning from California to Washington state since mid-August. The fires have also brought us smoky haze up and down the West Coast and some of the worst air quality in the world. California is battling 28 major fires spreading across more than 3 million acres. In Oregon, tens of thousands of people have evacuated. More than 600,000 acres have burned in Washington state. South of Portland, Oregon, in Clackamas County, local relief groups set up temporary shelters and provided aid to evacuees. In Jackson County, in southern Oregon, local officials continue to search for missing people and identified the remains of 4 people yesterday who died in a fire there. NewsHour Weekend's Christopher Booker spoke with Oregon Public Broadcasting reporter Emily Curitan earlier today for the latest on the continuing fire crisis.
What is the status of the fires and what is the status of the evacuation?
The danger is not over. Today, 500,000 people in Oregon are under some level of evacuation notice. About 40,000 people have been told to leave their homes, but the majority of those have been told to pack a bag and get ready to go. So this includes communities not far from Portland. And in southern Oregon, we're also braced for a harrowing couple of days. Towns that have already burned are now under a red flag warning again, and there's high winds expected in that part of the state.
A red flag warning because there's an expectation or an anticipation that the fires may return?
Conditions are prime for extreme fire activity.
And while this is happening, there seems to be quite a bit of misinformation or missing information. Tell me about what people know and how people are making decisions.
It's very difficult right now. Yesterday, I spoke with people who had fled the Holiday Farm fire, one of dozens burning throughout the state, and they fled their homes in the middle of the night last week. And here we are 6 days later, and they did not know the extent of damage to their communities or where unaccounted people were, if they were missing, if they had escaped, or if they had been caught in the fires. So that is something that's been really hard for survivors and for responders. And we're also seeing misinformation on social media take the form of rumors, and this has wasted law enforcement resources, specifically Facebook community groups with residents in areas that have been hit by the fires. People are posting things like that Antifa set the fires. OPB spoke with officials. There's absolutely no evidence to support this, but it hasn't stopped people from setting up roadblocks around towns or checking who's coming in and out of some of these burned communities. In fact, one of OPB's own reporters was stopped by armed vigilantes trying to access Malala, Oregon.
The governor has also told the state to brace for a mass casualty event. Has there been any updates about just how many people have died? And if not, has that warning continued?
Yeah, we are braced for a high death toll. The governor of Oregon, Kate Brown, has said this is likely to be the most substantial loss of life and property from fire in the state's history. And again, it's not like the immediate danger is over. So search and rescue efforts have been slowed. Firefighters and emergency responders, they spent this weekend in survival mode and have not yet pivoted to recovery.
The pandemic is still going on. Where are people being sent? Are they outside? Are they in tents? Are they collecting in gyms?
What we're seeing at evacuation points set up around the state is people who have the ability to remain in a vehicle or camp around their vehicle are doing that. And people who absolutely have nowhere else to go or don't have a family to go and see, they're being referred to hotel rooms as they're available. The problem is there just aren't enough available hotel rooms in the immediate area of the evacuated communities.
What is the air quality like currently in Oregon?
It's terrible. The smoke is blanketing the entire state right now and making it hard to breathe. I don't go outside without wearing a respirator right now. And all of Oregon and Washington have unhealthy air. The particulate is so dense, it's considered either very unhealthy to hazardous or even above the levels for hazardous. So it's literally off the charts bad to breathe outside right now.
What are the people you've spoken with who have evacuated? What are they saying to you?
The people I've spoken with in the immediate aftermath of fleeing were just traumatized. I mean, and these are people that live in fire-prone communities. So people have seen this before, and what was different about the firestorm of Monday night was how fast it moved.
What are the next steps?
The next week is going to continue to be an uphill battle for firefighters. President Trump approved an emergency federal declaration Thursday that will supplement state resources. Because keep in mind, Oregon's budget already took a major hit from revenue loss due to the pandemic. And the state already has a pretty notorious housing shortage. So this makes everything really uncertain now, especially for people who lost their rentals and mobile homes. We know at this point that those mobile homes along rivers have been decimated. On the optimistic side of things, the weather this weekend did improve and the wildfires grew more slowly. Oregon Governor Kate Brown has said we still have a long way to go though, and that some large fires that have merged to create mega fires are likely to burn until we get fall rain.
Emily Curitin from OPB, thank you so much for joining us.
You're very welcome.
President Trump